Okay, here we
Oh
go.
man, just go over there and just got all these.
We'll
food
zoom on
and
people's
food
stuff in their
tops
mouth.
and
That's right.
There's the old boss.
I mean, we
There's the old Ralphie.
and then you go out and
Who's over there?
which is about 2 miles.
Chinese people.
Come into
They going in?
I was hiding.
I didn't want to see him around there.
Hey, Daddy.
What you gotta do is
You're going to stand and get on the corner and get Steve and Nancy.
Oh, I gotta get them in the
goes
picture.
up and down with it.
And so right now the water is, I think it's gonna drop another foot.
Anybody got any?
Where did I get that sticker?
Yeah, Lewis is the only problem, he doesn't have an office.
Okay, Mother. Oh, you are here. Okay.
Everett, before I read the letter from Tim, I just want to say thanks for the last year. Although it was 3 months, everybody said my Uncle Everett worked here, and
Where is he?
where is Uncle Everett? I haven't seen him. But it's been a pleasure, and I wish you the best of luck. And this is from Tim. I'm sorry that I cannot attend your retirement dinner. However, I'll be there in spirit. Your dedication and commitment were shown time after time at Port Hudson. I wish that all of our employees could have the same level of commitment you have shown through the years. This commitment has been directed toward achieving the best at Port Hudson for Georgia Pacific. Best of all, the committed effort you gave paid off an improvement of our business results. I do appreciate your level of dedication for Port Hudson, the maintenance team, the steam and recovery operation, and Georgia Pacific. The maintenance department has benefited from your involvement. The contributions you have made have helped to make our electrical systems more reliable, although not quite reliable enough yet.
You can't have him back.
That's my ad-lib. Certainly your dedication and commitment has been a cornerstone of these significant contributions. I can only hope future employees will have the same type of dedication to excellent results as you have had. Please accept my sincere appreciation for the many good years of service. As well, I hope you the best of luck and health. Your help and dedication will be very hard to replace, and I think that's sincere. Thanks, and take care of yourself. You deserve the best.
appreciate it.
Everett, I never screwed up before, but I may have once.
Don't bring my name up.
But anyway, I guess about 8 years ago, we went to put in the number 4 paper machine. And I was so confident that the turbine generator would never run. We hooked number 4 up to where it would just run strictly off of, it was Gulf States at the time, I'm not sure who they are now, Energy. They switched back and forth from my electric bill at least. But anyway, here the other day we noticed that, we started looking at the electrical outages on the machines, and number 3 was riding through everything, and they're hooked up to the turbine. And I'm saying, how can that be? I know that I designed that system a lot better, and I think that you're a really big part of that particular part of the mill, running and keeping things going. So I guess maybe we need another turbine, or maybe I think again about it. But I really appreciate it. As Tim said, you've been a real big part of this. So again, thank you. And we're going to see how good Larry can talk. He's been writing notes.
I had them thinking anyway, Everett. Well, we were all sitting here thinking tonight that, we're going to miss Everett, and the dedication, the years of service he put in at GP is not going to go unremembered, because, we all think about it, and we reflect also about the day we're going to be sitting wherever it is, approaching our retirement. But as I was sitting here tonight thinking about how much we're going to miss Everett, I couldn't help but jot down some notes of things that I'm pretty sure that Everett's going to miss as well. Like maybe phone calls in the middle of the night.
He won't miss those.
No.
Because now Everett can
He'll
be
still get
confident.
'em.
Everett can be confident now that when that phone rings late at night, it's probably going to be one of his kids or his grandkids needing some help.
Emergency.
Instead of John Mavona out there at the paper mill. He's probably going to miss that weekend duty list, looking at where his name comes up on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and those holidays. I'm sure he's going to miss that. He's going to miss the monthly reports and the deadlines he's going to try to get in for those. He'll probably miss trying to explain the negative variances on his budget each month. Another thing he probably will miss is being told that Everett, you're going to be held personally responsible for coming up with the plans, how you're going to prevent that breaker from tripping, that fuse from blowing, and that motor from burning up in the future. Not going to allow that to happen anymore. And one other thing, I'm sure no one in this room can relate to that, but another thing I know Everett's going to miss, and it's going to be probably something he's going to really think about a year from now, is he's going to miss that maximizing performance review. That comes due about that time of year each year at Everett retirement. But I think as we all know that the good Lord doesn't close a door in our life without opening up another one. And so I'm not looking at this retirement for Everett as being the end of an era or end of a major stage in his life, but as a beginning of a new one. And I think that's going to be what we got to look forward to with Everett and wish him good luck into. Because I think what Everett's going to be looking forward to is his biggest, most difficult decision he's got to make each day is deciding on what type of fish bait he's going to be using tomorrow.
Or what kid he's gonna take.
So Everett, I wish you the best of luck and a very well-earned retirement. Enjoy yourself and wish you good health.
Thank you.
Mentioned when the winter comes around, he's gonna miss that call saying, Everett, the steam lines are freezing up. Come on out here and give him a hand. We need some heat tracing done. I know he's gonna miss that. But Everett, we got a few little gifts for you here, Horsefly, and I want you to come on up here and get them opened up and try them out.
I don't know. I didn't know nothing about it. I told you.
Horsefly? Is that what he called it?
Yeah, that's what Everett calls him. That's a good buddy. He calls him Horsefly, they're buddies.
I don't know where the name Horsefly
Brenda called me the other day, said they're not gonna do anything, so I don't want chasing it today. We couldn't get that reel. He was gonna pick up the same reel that I'm doing.
I know,
Chase had to
Chase
say,
Cove.
I know.
I did have a little help on these gifts. I'm not too much of a fisherman or anything, so I had Steve, his son-in-law, help me out on this a little bit. Yeah, I did.
Son-in-law.
Best rabbit. Yeah.
Come on, from the three machines.
That's some of the info from Ashtown, huh?
Well, you know, I got a UPS box house the other day, and I put it up on the counter, opened up, a roach jumped out.
Come on, Everett.
Cost a little bit,
Was it just a UPS box?
Chuck said it was his house.
Show him how it works.
That's a fishing tackle. There's a couple women this morning that stopped me from buying.
There ain't nothing traveling, you gotta put.
No, he went to go get something. He said, Papa, you gonna have that party. You don't know what. I said, Everett, they said they weren't gonna get you anything. I don't know why he told you that. So he don't think.
About 4 foot too short. Well, last time.
Joe, who wrapped that? Beverly wrapped those?
Did Joe wipe them?
And Dally.
Perhaps like Daddy, huh?
And Dally. Probably the same tape from GP. That long is People on his nail that during the night.
That's an ugly stick.
Ugly stick.
Yeah, that's a fine rock, thank you.
That's what he uses on the grandchildren, the ugly stick. He always says, I'm gonna get my ugly stick.
Every can't bring it on my pond now.
Is that right?
No, I can't pull on it, man.
Without stoppers, James.
I'm here.
With or without stoppers.
Without stuff. The old style, right? Straight line, you know?
We're doing fast,
There's
break.
several people that's got camps and ponds and stuff like that that invited me.
You know, always
I'm
talking.
gonna take them up on it.
Me, I bet they're so nervous I couldn't say nothing.
Okay, we can go skiing. There's a ski bridle.
Honey, you gotta hold things up. We can't see in the back.
Sorry about that. You want apartment glasses, honey?
Whenever she comes, she don't fool with the ground.
Jen said she was sick.
Well, she may be.
Oh, no, you didn't have time.
I mean, last week. And she babysits her too.
A whole bunch of lures.
Man.
Crickets.
Steve, Brenda's looking at you. You being looked
That's
at.
how you food the fish.
Got the crickets in there, man?
Look alike.
No shiners?
Everett? They say, do you have any crickets to shine? I'm sorry, he can't hear.
I couldn't understand it.
Got the
Okay.
shiners in there?
What's that?
Yeah.
That's what. If a man.
Oh, thank you, I forgot about it.
Doesn't understand, guess what? I automatically raise my voice a little bit. I'm used to work around paper mill. The woman just keeps talking. She figures a man don't understand anyway, so she just keeps talking.
You're over 24.
What you got?
It's real. Defco real.
Oh,
That's a classic form with ball bearing in it. It's one of the best ones I make. That's good. Thank you.
you might as well come over here and tell him what you got.
Cheryl, can you zoom in that for me?
Yeah.
All right, so we did all right.
That's that thing you reel the thing in with.
A ski rope.
Ski rope.
Well, I thought he already had a ski.
Huh? I hope you get that. Well, yeah, that's what you do when you retire. Things like this, when you're not fishing, you all the other kind of
Wish I liked sweets.
Slalom.
Oh boy, that's nice.
Chase
I
me.
had that year. What if I can get up on it?
I like that.
Hey, one.
He'll probably get two now.
I believe so, that's all right.
I've been there.
Joe's supposed to read the speech.
Well, I don't know what to say.
That's his daddy. Steve's begging for the picture. That's his brother.
25 years ago myself. And, upstairs where I guess it is too. I guess that's part of the
Oh, that's-
central
yeah,
control of the
that's,
Pro Rocks room now is where Everett's office was up there. And they hired me on up there and I come up there to Everett, sitting behind that old steel desk. And, put me to work. And back then, though, we weren't E&I back then. We were really multi-craft. And had to put me over the line field with a cutting torch and a ball. I wasn't an instrument man back then. But it was real nice, and been through many things together.
Well, that mill has really grown, and I don't know anything for sure, but from the looks of things, it's gonna get another addition before too many years down the road.
Thank you.
It's making money, and when they make money, they spend money, and when they don't make money, they cut your throat to keep you from spending. It's been an up and down, and it never stays the same. You're either going uphill or going downhill. You're never on a level ground. And it can be aggravating, and it interferes with your vacations and with your family life. And but in spite of all the aggravation, I don't know any place else I've worked and enjoyed it anymore. I've really enjoyed Georgia Pacific. And I hope I did a good enough job. At least they didn't fire me.
They might have wanted you.
He come close good.
Yeah, it's been threatened several times, but I always laughed at the guy that did the threatening.
That's true.
It's really been an experience. The younger guys are going through the same thing. Chaplain can years ahead of me.
Over here.
It's going to happen to him. I've really enjoyed it. I'm a much better person by knowing all of you. You retain something of each person that you know and get to understand. And you've all taught me a lot. A whole lot. I just want to say thanks a whole lot, especially these girls, Brenda and Sue and Deborah.
I was waiting on that too, Deborah.
They worked hard for a lot of this stuff on me. I appreciate it.
God bless you, man.
Heard Ralph know. If that's true, I need to talk to you outside.
You know, there's several people out there that I've been instrumental in hiring. And some were good and some were bad. And,
Let's go outside there.
He won't give you a yes or no.
sometimes you take pot luck.
You got me twice,
Look at that pepper belly I hired.
Twice, too.
Yeah, Louis Ball.
Story that really comes to mind when especially again, when Everett mentioned he outlasted a lot of the guys that wanted to fire him, and he stayed at the mill longer. Back in, I don't know, a number of years ago, we had a big layoff out at the mill.
85.
And they brought a bunch of people in from up north there someplace. I mean, anyway, one of them was old Dick Goshorn. And he smoked cigars about this long. And anyway, he come up to Everett after he'd been there for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. He says, Everett, I see you and Joe out the mill all the damn time. And I want to know one thing. How do y'all ever figure out how to get time off? Everett says, well, Hossfly, I'm going to tell you, it's like this. He says, I'll go up to Joe and I'll say, Joe, you want a day off tomorrow? And Joe says, oh, no, you go ahead and take it off. But so we work it out amongst ourselves. And that's how we get the time off. And we just work back and forth that way.
That's true, that's true. Yeah, that's what he told me. He said, Joe's taking off tomorrow, I'll take it off the next day.
I don't know, I'm sure there's many stories that each and every one of them. Rick's probably got 1 or 2, and all the dames, I know he's probably got a couple there he'd like to tell about.
No, mine's a secret, man.
Aw, come on, that's the best one.
Get up on the 6th, 7th floor of the boiler and find Everett roaming out looking for us and get a water hose and soak him down.
That's one good thing I like to tell about him. You know, I'm going to miss him as a planner. They're talking about the things you're going to miss. I'm going to miss you, Everett, because I guess the last time we had a little shutdown, one of them 2 power boiler. We had it set up to be down, I guess, May, something like that. Anyway, I was off with a back injury, you know, and Everett called me maybe twice a day talking about that damn shutdown, you know. And I had to get myself in position to answer the phone. Hey, this is Everett, Jane. And we talked a few minutes, and he called me the next day. Well, you know I'm going to be on vacation next week. And I said, oh, man, that's great. That's good. And while I'm off, I'm going to come drink some coffee with you, check on you. Hey, man, I would love to see you. He said, well, I'll be over there, say, Wednesday, 8 o'clock. So I'll be looking for you, Everett. About 7:45, the doorbell rang. It was Everett. Come drink coffee with me, but he had the damn shutdown schedule with me. Well, me, I'm going to talk about them 2 power boys. But anyway, I'm going to miss those kind of things. They get me out a hell of a lot, and I appreciate it. And hey, man, I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to hope God bless you, and, you know.
Well, I hope to get by your 40 acres out there, the South 40, and visit with you a little bit. And,
Come on out.
And I won't bring a shutdown schedule.
Don't have to no more.
Bring your grandson, and you guys go back and catch that little big catfish I've been trying to catch for the last. Not me, I ain't. My boys.
A little pre-planning, and sometimes it wasn't real pleasant, sometimes it was fairly pleasant, but I'd go do the job or whatever, and we'd have a post-job discussion on it. And I remember one time my daddy was asking about working at the paper mill, because he always worked in paper mills. I was telling him about this new boss I had, and we started talking. I said, you know, Daddy, I said, it's almost just like when I worked for you. And, you know, I'm a patient man. And my daddy wasn't real patient. But one thing,
How much of the rest of the story's a lie?
but one thing I can say about Everett, you know, he always had a smile on his face, and that's the way I'll always remember him. And he always tried to tell me, don't worry about the things you can't control, because it ain't worth worrying about. And you were absolutely right. And I wish I'd learned that. You know, you take a lot of lessons in school and at work and stuff. Some you learn and some you don't learn. That's one I need to learn more of, but you're absolutely right. And I appreciate all you've done for me in the past. I'll miss you a lot. And I expect to see you.
You're going to, Rick. I appreciate it.
A whole lot.
Maintenance at Everett. I had the pleasure of calling up Everett at about 2 o'clock in the morning saying, Everett, waste treatment is down. I had just gotten into maintenance. I think Larry was just hired on as a superintendent. And all of waste treatment was down. And from environmental purposes, for those who don't know, I mean, we're talking about a lot of money, possible fines, things like that. So it's a lot of pressure to get it up. So I called out some generators, and we had about $60,000 worth of generators on the way. And Everett showed up. He says, well, we've been wanting to change that cable anyway. Now might be the opportunity. So he got on the phone, and in about 2 hours' time, he had okayed about $300,000 worth of cable. And they were loading it up on trucks. And Larry came walking around the corner, and there was Everett giving the truck driver directions on how to get to Port Hudson. You go down to this second red light, you take a left, you know. And Larry said, Everett, who are you talking to? So Everett said, hold on. So he told Larry the story, and Larry said, why don't you tell the guy you call him right back? Turned out about an hour later we found the problem and fixed it. Didn't use the cable that Everett had on the order, so we canceled that order. There's stories like that, plus the other stories about Everett that I really didn't witness, but 5 horsepower motor kept tripping out, and there was always an electrical problem, so Everett put a 30, 40 horsepower motor on there, 50 horsepower motor on there, until finally the mechanical problem showed up.
Here about 4 years later, last year we put new cable around the panel.
Yeah, but finally got it.
Yeah, finally got it, but it was so deteriorated we were afraid to make it. We throwed the switch. If it held while we were in good shape, and then we were down.
We had a couple of contractors that were amazed that Larry and I didn't want to test the cable. We were afraid to test it. And they said, well, how are you going to know it's going to hold? So we're going to throw the switch. Yeah, we did. We turned it on.
sometimes you have to take advantage of an opportunity. Ronnie Ruff used to be assistant mill manager or production manager, whatever you want to call it. He wouldn't sign a requisition for anything. I mean, for a screwdriver, nothing. And so I used to write all these requisitions. I kept them in my desk. We'd lose a turbine, a feed water pump, or an air compressor. And Ronnie'd be out there at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you just take that whole stack and shove it in front of him. He'd sign every one of them, never read it. There's one thing you've got to find out. It's when you work for somebody, you need to know who they are, what they do, what their strong points are, what their weak points are. And you can survive a long time knowing those things.
You know, hell, the only way I can find out anything about him, I have to come down to Chuck and I say, when the hell is Everett doing? What's he doing? Well, and he fudged a little bit for you, so I have to say he'd help you out a lot.
Well, I tell you what, I blowed about $80,000 in '94, and I got cut on a lot more than I wanted to.
In the way they do things, especially back then. And that's how I made it through there and finally learned my way around. Everett showed me a few ropes and stuff, and some of those very things that you're talking about, we don't want to use those unless we have to, but we can we?
Sometimes you have to.
You got a big thank you coming from me, Everett. I appreciate it. It was quite a culture shock coming to this mill 9 years ago from where I came from. And you helped me get over it. And you got to remember Bob Reiser was up in that boat too.
What was it, $100 clock, $100 ink pen, $100 trash
I wasn't in on any of that. But,
Trash can with a gold rim on it.
Gold rim on.
$150 disc set.
you helped me figure out where the smoke was and where the fire actually was. And I made it through it, so I appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
You're talking about the way GP operate, you know, we used to have to buy chairs for the control room for the operators, you know, and we write a requisition for a chair, you know, chair for control room, and shit, it gets kicked back at you, you know. And so what we had to do was to operate the operator support device. It's the only way you can get a damn chair for the operator. Just say, chair for the control room, you couldn't do it.
Downhill. And so the frontline supervisor's got to do what he has to do, and if he's got to call a cutting torch a blowpipe or a
Metal separator.
metal separator or an operator support device for a chair, that's the way he's got to do it. Because the biggest, and Pete Carell said this, said the biggest asset we have is the personnel, the people. That's the people that make the mill run. And I agree with you. But by the same token, you can't expect a mechanic to do work without tools. And you can't expect the operator to do work without an operator